hold on. Hear me out. Just hear me out, please. Don't dismiss me right off the bat. We can all have different thoughts and opinions, right? Right? I'm really not that excited for the Book of Boba Fett. I apologize. Most of you guys know that I'm always wanting new stuff. New stuff in Star Wars. That's what I want. And looking at the Book of Boba Fett, and looking at the catalog of Star Wars shows coming out, you know, we seem to kind of be mulching over familiar territory, right? Ahsoka, Kenobi show, Book of Boba Fett show, Cassian Andor show, The Acolyte show. Those are 5 shows. 5 shows, and the only one that does not have a familiar face that we know of. I mean, it could have a familiar face, who knows? But the only one that does not right off the bat have a familiar face or have the name of the show of a character in the title is The Acolyte. 4 out of 5 shows have a familiar face and focus on a character that we've seen before. To me, the future of Star Wars is in the new characters. I've never really had much of a desire to kind of mulch over the same shit over and over again. That's why the idea of like, that I hear a lot of people throwing the idea of like a Darth Vader movie. Why? He's been around. We have a lot of Darth Vader stories, right? Darth Maul's been around in a lot of different things, right? Even the Star Killer stuff. There's a lot of characters that we have stories of already. Well, why do we continually have to go over the same? We have to walk in the same footprints that we've already walked in before. I don't get it. I don't have that desire. That's why, like, the second season of The Mandalorian, as much as I loved it, my favorite episode in the entire show so far is the first, I think it was the first episode in season 2 with the Crate Dragon and Cobb Vanth. Love that episode, but the second season kind of, I don't know, it kind of left me behind a little bit when we started seeing so many familiar faces, when Boba Fett got reintroduced, when Ahsoka popped up. A lot of familiar faces started being more prevalent, and I thought the strong suit of The Mandalorian, especially in the first season, was all new. It was all new. But that's just me. Am I in the minority? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure I'm in the minority when it comes to this opinion, but yeah, man, like I'm really excited for Rogue Squadron, the movie, because hopefully that won't have any familiar faces in it either. I get a little bummed out when so much of new Star Wars focuses on so much of old Star Wars, and it leans on the familiar rather than trying to tell new stories about new characters. I mean, and there's a lot of new stories about new characters in the novels, and they've been great so far, and I've thoroughly enjoyed reading most of them. But when it comes to shows and movies, I want them to, you know, really focus on the unfamiliar, because that's the bread and butter. That's what is going to propel Star Wars into the future for a new generation. My fear is that things get stagnant. We just keep mulching over the same shit over and over again, resurrecting characters, telling stories, you know, about characters that we're already familiar with, that we already know. And as much as I love a lot of these characters, yeah, I want new ones. That's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying as me not liking these characters. I love Ahsoka. I love Kenobi. I'm excited. I'm going to watch the shows. But in terms of the shows that have been announced, the one that I'm most excited for, the one that is sky high above the rest for different reasons, is The Acolyte. Because of that unfamiliarity. Because we don't know what's coming. It's the one we know the least about. Therefore, it's the one that has the most mystery, and it's the one that I'm the most excited for. Yeah, that mystery, that unfamiliarity, that is what gets me excited, man. That's why I'm excited for Visions. Visions looks like it's going to, be its own standalone thing that's not going to lean on the familiar. I'm excited for Visions. I'm excited for The Acolyte. Obviously, I'm going to watch everything else, but in terms of things that, I'm most excited for, Book of Boba Fett is not one of them. So, you know, feel free to throw your tomatoes at your screen. You're not gonna hit me though, you're just gonna hit your TV. Hey, do you disagree? You probably do. It's the internet. Welcome to the internet. I want my Darth Vader movie! And I'm not saying anything new here that I haven't said before. If you go back and watch my videos from like 2012, 2013, 2014, leading into The Force Awakens, leading into the new sequel trilogy, I kind of echo the same sentiments. I often said that, you know, I want, as much as I love the original trilogy, you know, the OT is my Star Wars. More than anything else in Star Wars, the OT is it for me. And despite that being my bread and butter, that being my soul, you know, the OT, Han, Luke, and Leia, you know, that trio being ingrained in me as Star Wars, despite that being my everything, leading into The Force Awakens, leading into the sequel trilogy, I often said that I barely wanted to see them in the movies. You know, I talked about wanting to pass the baton of Star Wars to a new generation of heroes and villains. I talked about wanting the original cast to take a big back seat. And that might sound strange to some folks, you know. The folks who want more Vader, want more Kenobi, want more Maul, want more Starkiller, want more of the same. But that's just kind of where I've stood for a very long time, you know. Even the characters that I love, deep down in my soul, in my heart, I wanted them, and I still want them to take a big back seat. But hey, man, that's just me. Hello, Greedo. Out.